Hello, Libras. Welcome to your September reading. I do hope that you are all doing well. I feel like some of you Libras may be kind of going through some difficult times, maybe not really recently, but in the past, within the past few months or even for the whole year. This year of 2017 have been going through some difficult times in terms of your health or in terms of in the physical world. So hopefully you guys are healing and that you guys are kind of bringing that energy back in a good way, and you're learning how to improve your everyday life. Hopefully this reading can give us a little bit more guidance as well. Brownie. Alright, so the first card giving the overall energies at play for you Libras this month, we have the Two of Wands. Okay, so I do feel like some of you Libras are just kind of getting your groove back. You guys are kind of like jumping back on that horse after being down and out or having a time out of some sort for a little bit. This Two of Wands is about balance and it's about harmony. So I feel like some of you have been kind of feeling chaotic, feeling like you guys have been torn in one direction or another, especially in terms of creativity or in terms of your career. So maybe some of you Libras are trying to really establish yourself or get started in some way in your current field of work, or you're trying to figure out exactly what your career path is going to look like, what it's going to be, what you actually want. And I feel like you guys will be making headway this September. You guys are hopefully, well, according to this card, focusing your energy more. This Two of Wands is about really directing that creative energy, that fire, that spark within you, and directing it into a way that you can actually use it and you can actually harness that energy. Because when you have the card that's before this, the Ace of Wands, it's all about potential and it's kind of wild, untamed and untapped potential and energy. And the Two of Wands is making progress. It's kind of not just acknowledging this motivation, this passion kind of stirring within you. It's actually directing that force and giving it a little bit of guidance and direction. So the Two of Wands is fire energy, and we are in the sign now of Virgo, so it's a bit more grounding energy, but we do have a lot of the inner planets, Mars and Venus, in the sign of Leo, and that's fire energy. It's still very creative, passionate, playful energy, and of course fire is all about action, movement, and so I do feel like you Libras will be feeling that energy. You can see here this dragon, symbolizing or featured in a lot of the Wands cards, fire cards, something very there's an elusive quality to the dragon, kind of mythical feelings, but it does to me represent that creativity and that uniqueness. So this card to me is saying that you're going to kind of try to make your passion and make your career, even make your job, make your creative pursuits your own, and you're going to kind of add your own flavor to it. We do have at the end of this dragon's tail here the world. There's the symbol of earth here, and I feel like some of you may be kind of may have been kind of burdened or in some way like overwhelmed, and you guys have just been feeling really down about the troubles of the world, and you guys have been feeling like you kind of can't escape certain circumstances that you're in. And lately I feel like some of you Libras may have been feeling kind of like a victim of something, and you've been feeling really down and feeling like, this is what my life is, and there's no escape, and this is how it's going to be. And some of you may have been feeling kind of helpless. But I do feel like with this card, you guys are slowly but surely learning that you have a lot of potential, and you don't just have to kind of watch it go to waste. I feel like some of you are going to be feeling more empowered this September, at least for the first 2 weeks, and you guys are going to finally notice that your thoughts and your creative your creativity, your impulse, not your impulses, but like the ideas that you have, the creative ideas that you get in those moments suddenly when you're like, oh, I have this idea, and then it never really goes anywhere. I feel like now you guys are more empowered to think like, to take it to the next step and take those ideas and try to turn it into something that can actually manifest in the real world. So something for you Libras to take note of, we have the Sun in the reverse position. Okay, so I do feel like, well, first of all, the Sun is a major arcana card, and this is representing Leo energy. Although this could be, just representing your energy, Libra. So this doesn't necessarily have to do with a Leo in your life, and I feel like this probably isn't for most of you Libras. The Sun, again, was just in Leo, but now it's in Virgo, and it's almost actually in your sign of Libra. So I feel like maybe some of you guys are feeling a bit restless, a bit eager, and it's almost like you're waiting for your time to come. And I do feel like you guys are kind of feeling that energy. You guys are getting, inspired, some of you, and you're able to kind of see further into the future than you have been in the past. And it's almost like you're shifting from like short-term planning into more longer range planning, and which is good because now you have more of a vision in mind for you of where you want to go. Something for you to take note of, however, is the Sun in the reverse position, and I feel like you want to be careful because we do have a lot of fire energy. Like I said, there's still a lot of fire cosmic energy, and with the Sun in reverse, it's almost like warning you that you don't want to get too carried away with your impulses and with just like working or moving on a whim. You want to be making sure that you are not faltering, not straying too much from that vision that you have from your goals and from what your I guess values are. Because when the Sun comes reverse, to me, it could indicate that you're kind of not, you may not be 100% true to yourself. The Sun to me is all about, really basking in your own glory and just staying true to what makes you you and your uniqueness, your individuality. So something to take note of would be just to, be aware of the sacrifices that you have to make. Obviously, not everything is going to go 100% all the time according to plan, and you will have to be flexible and give and take, but at the same time, you want to make sure that you're sacrificing, the right things, or things that are not going to end up being regretted by yourselves later on. So just something for you guys to be mindful of. And let's see what your general advice is, Libra. So we have the Page of Cups in the reverse position. Okay, so this Page of Cups, normally when the Page of Cups is upright like this is signaling possibly meeting somebody, a new person in your life, and somebody who will bring love into your life. Not necessarily romantic love, although for some of you it could be like somebody who kind of attracts you and captures your attention, or it could be just maybe for some of you Libras, really learning to love yourself in some sort of way. And as general advice, when this comes reverse, it's like, again, it's kind of another warning sign. I do feel like with this Two of Wands giving the overall energy, this is very positive energy. This is like, okay, we're going to use all this potential, all this power that is on the inside, and we're going to direct that outward, and we're going to do something with that energy. But obviously, when you have all this, fire within you, you want to make sure that you're not going to waste it, and you're going to direct it into something meaningful and something productive. So I feel like with this energy, this powerful energy, you have these cards here kind of surrounding it saying, don't waste this. So for some of you, this is a very critical time for you, and especially coming up to the sun in Libra, you want to be making sure that you're preparing everything so that when the spotlight comes onto you, you are ready and you have something to show for your efforts. Don't be too freaked out or stressed out about that. You don't have to rush anything. Again, this card, the Sun card, to me is reminding you to do things that feel right for yourself, and not to force anything, not to sacrifice anything that you hold dear, and anything that would sacrifice your integrity. And then with this Page of Cups, it's like you guys see, there's like this Two of Wands is like balance, all about balance and harmony, and it's like this card is telling you not to give up your ideals and to be true to yourself. And this Page of Cups in reverse, on the flip side, as general advice, is saying saying that you want to keep an open mind and keep an open heart. So definitely it's not going to be black and white. There's not going to be just a simple straight answer. I do feel like above all, you Libras would benefit from listening to your intuition and strengthening that connection that you have with your inner self, with your higher self. But again, we have these two cards kind of keeping you steady, keeping you on the right path. So again, the sun in reverse is saying, don't give up yourself, a part of yourself. Be true to who you are on your journey here and on your creative pursuits, because I feel like this entails a lot of experimentation, a lot of trial and error. So don't sacrifice anything dear to you. And then this Page of Cups in reverse is like, but you want to be open to try new things. You want to be open to the criticisms even of other people, and to the feedback that you get from other people, and you have to be willing to be flexible in your approach. So kind of keep that in mind. I know Libras are all about fairness and equality, so I feel like, this is just sort of emphasizing that. And then we have this Two of Wands as well, too, all about balance. So there's that kind of, those Libra scales are going to be tested, and you're going to want to make sure that you're approaching things from a well-rounded perspective, and that's just something to keep in mind as you go forward. Because again, I feel like for this month you're going to be kind of gifted with a lot of energy and a lot of keenness. You're going to be able to understand and to see, to have that vision of, okay, like this is what I want, this is what I envision for myself, and this is how I'm going to do it. Again, it's all about directing your efforts, directing your energy into something productive. So let's see what the outcome card is for you Libras. And we have the Ten of Swords. Okay, so we have fire energy here, we've got water energy, we've got air energy. The only thing missing is earth energy, and we are in the sign of Virgo, earth energy. So I feel like since that is missing from here, I feel like some of you Libras need to ground yourself. You need to be making sure that, through all this high-strung kind of fiery energy, you want to make sure that you're taking that time every day really every day. It seems very inconvenient, but you want to be making sure that you are, bringing yourself back down to reality, and that you're not getting carried away in your thoughts and your ideas. Ground yourself. And what does that even mean? That means you want to be making sure that you're keeping that connection, that mind, body, spirit connection in alignment. So, if you can have that vision like we talked about, and you can have that those goals in mind, and you could be working towards that, but don't work towards that goal while neglecting your own physical body. Like if you're getting sick because you're working so many hours and you're staying up late and you're not eating properly, that is not grounding yourself. You want to make sure that you have your physical body and your material needs covered, because we do live on earth. We live on this physical plane, and nothing really is possible on this earth without our body. So you want to be making sure that you're taking care of that. Now, we do have this Ten of Swords as your outcome card, and this could indicate to me a Gemini in your life. So again, some of you may be meeting a Gemini, and your hearts could be too closed off to recognize that they will be, a helpful influence for you. This Gemini to you, Libras, a fellow air sign, this could be someone who comes off as a bit dramatic, comes off as a bit of, someone who wants too much attention, or, they want to be the center of the show all the time. And you could be really like, you could be like, oh, I don't have time for this or whatever. But again, this Page of Cups is, as general advice, is saying, watch out for people who you could potentially really get along with, and that you could have a lasting connection with. This Ten of Swords as well, this Gemini could be someone who really is secretly, asking for your help, for your attention, but they could be in need of your assistance. And I feel like some of you Libras may really give this Gemini like remind them of a reason to be happy, to be grateful, to be alive, really. And so I feel like you could be a positive influence in this Gemini's life. And I feel like it's not just going to be one-sided. If you Libras do meet a Gemini in some way, I feel like you will benefit from that interaction as well. For other Libras, I feel like some of you, again, you're suffering from a bit of physical health issues, physical problems, and potentially even your mental health. For some of you could be suffering a lot, maybe directly related to that, or could be a separate thing. But definitely there's some sort of blockages, some sort of discontentment, and possibly illness, disease related to your physical or mental health, possibly emotional as well, but mostly I'm getting physical or mental. And so I do want to say that you will have all this energy kind of building up inside of you. Try to direct that, get it out, better out than in, because otherwise it could really overwhelm your system, and some of you may be having to take sick days or whatever, and it could really slow you down. You could really have to again prolong this time off that you're taking. And so I feel like some of you Libras that's just in what's happening to you right now, some illness of some sort, or not even technically or full-blown illness, but maybe some of you Libras are experiencing aches and pains, or you're under a lot of stress. So I do feel like a lot of that, as general advice with this Page of Cups, could be kind of mitigated or avoided altogether if you open up your heart and try not to do everything by yourself. Try to listen to what other people are saying, especially people around you who you love and that you can trust, because it's not going to be the easiest time for you. You will kind of have to tread a little bit, tread the waters tread softly, because you know, you may be getting pulled in different directions, and again, you want to have that balance. It's all about balance this month for you Libras, and to avoid any more pain, any more suffering, try to keep a positive attitude, and try to you know, look at things from different angles, from all sides, all perspectives. And I feel like if you kind of remember to keep your eyes open and to keep your heart open as well, and your mind, you can really be productive and get a lot done and have more of a vision for what you want in the future. And that's one step closer to manifesting your desires. Just try to remain positive. So everybody, thank you very much for tuning in. Please don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, so that you can stay updated with my readings, and like this video if you found this helpful or valuable, and I'll see you guys next time.